Good morning. So today we are going to go over the tasks that we're supposed to accomplish for this final period. So to review what was expected when we first started having online learning. So of course, this includes the performance task, which is in the form of the written interview. And we said in the orientation, the very first online lesson we've had, that um, the performance task would be 50% of the tentative final grade. And if you recall, I also shared with you how to compute the grade. So that was in the orientation. Another thing that we will focus on is the two activities. So you've already been given the instructions regarding these two online activities that were to be emailed, but today we're also going to recap what has to be submitted regarding these two online activities. Next thing is you were advised to read in between classes because reading in between the classes would help you come up with questions that are based on the topics discussed as well as the topics in the online instruction delivery plan. And we also mentioned that we ideally should participate in discussions in the Facebook group as well as comment on the videos that were posted or react to any comments by your classmates to the videos. So this is something I feel we didn't do much. So far, I haven't seen any comments to the videos posted to the Facebook group. So I'm hoping starting today, um, you might want to post a comment to any of the videos already uploaded to YouTube and linked to in our Facebook group, as well as make comments on any future videos that will be posted to the group. Okay, so one of the other things that we talked about in the orientation is that you should be reading or try to read the PDF files. So again, why do we need to do that? Because you will need to read the files to accomplish the performance task, meaning your 10 questions should come from topics in the PDF files. We also mentioned that if you don't attend the classes, then reading is one of the ways to keep updated on the lessons or also watching the YouTube videos. Another thing is that in the orientation, we mentioned that we would not be discussing everything in the PDF files. It's honestly quite impossible to discuss everything, so we chose just a few select topics. However, if you want to deepen your learning, then of course you can do so by reading files, the PowerPoint presentations converted to PDFs, and any topics that are also found in the book we're using. If you want to just deepen your knowledge or your learning about advertising. Because I already posted the link to the book, the PDF copy of the book that we are using for the class. And that was posted weeks ago. So if you've been following the posts to the Facebook group, you know that you can easily access all of the topics that are found in the ebook. Okay, so what exactly is expected in the performance task? Okay, so first is a copy of the letter requesting the interview. So this letter requesting the interview should be in the form of an MS Word file, but I understand that not everyone has unlimited internet access or regular internet access. So I allowed sending the letter through Facebook chat. But remember, when it comes to the submission of all the requirements that are connected to the performance task, the copy of the letter should be in the form of an MS Word file. Okay? So sa ngayon, kung isa-send nyo yung letter through a message in Facebook Messenger, pwede rin, pero later on, pag submission na, dapat naka-format siya sa MS Word. Okay, another thing I would like to clarify is that the second item, a copy of the interviewee's response, which shows they agreed to be interviewed. So if the interviewee replied through email, then you convert the email to a PDF file, and that will be what you will include in the final output. Or if the interviewee replied to you directly on Facebook Messenger, then what we need would be the screenshot of the reply. Okay, so the screenshot of the reply, and if possible, the screenshot of the reply, embed it in an MS Word file. So may picture, screenshot nyo siya, and then paki-embed sa isang MS Word document yung picture, and then save. Okay, so I hope that's clear. The next thing that's also connected to the performance task is the CV of the interviewee. So medyo madali na to. You just ask your interviewee for a copy of their CV. It could be an MS Word file or a PDF file. Also related to the performance task is a short history of the advertising agency. So if there is already a history provided in the website of the company, then you may use that, but please rewrite it so that it will not be considered as plagiarism. Okay? Now, if there is no history already written for the advertising firm or advertising agency, then you can, or you have to, write it yourself. You have to make the history for the ad agency. Write it. And also we have the summary and synthesis of and reaction to the interviewee's answers. And all of this will again be saved to an MS Word file. And then when you're done with all of that, you'll email them all, attach them all to just one email, and you'll send it to me at my sscr.edu email address, with the subject of the email being COM22 final output. So just one email, and all of these things on this slide will be attached to that one email. Okay, so and as you remember, in one of our earlier classes, we asked Sir Carlo if the graduating students would have to submit earlier, and he said yes. So if you're a graduating student, then please try to email everything that needs to be emailed as soon as possible. Okay, so we proceed to the next slide. So what will be the sequence for, let's go back, sequence for the summary and synthesis and reaction. So let's look at the format. So for the sequence, you write first the interview question, and then you write the interviewee's answer word for word. Don't change anything. You write the person's answers after the question. So since some of the interviewees might be more comfortable using Filipino as the language for the interview or for their answers, then there's no need to translate. If they use Taglish in their answers, also there's no need to translate to English. Now then, after each question and each answer, you have to write the summary. So this is where you would say something like, according to Mr. X or according to Miss X, or Mr. Y said, or Miss Y explained that, or stated that, etc. And the summary has to always be in English. So the pattern will stay the same. Question 1, answer 1, summary 1. Question number 2, answer 2, summary 2, until you get to question number 10. Okay? And after you're done doing that for all 10 questions and all 10 answers, then you go to the next part, which will be called the synthesis. So the synthesis means we put together the summaries in a logical, coherent manner. So what does this mean? So it's not just a matter of copy-pasting all of your summaries in chronological order. That's not what it means. You're going to literally write a synthesis, an essay, with a logical beginning, a logical middle, and it has to reach a logical end. There's a beginning, a middle, and a conclusion or an ending. And this has to also be coherent. So what does this mean when you say coherent? There has to be a flow from one paragraph to the next paragraph, a natural, smooth transition from one paragraph to the next. So again, the synthesis is not just copy-pasting all of the summaries. You have to find a way to piece them together in a logical, coherent way. Okay? So if the synthesis is written in the third person, meaning he or she, we use those pronouns, the reaction, on the other hand, is going to be written in the first person. So you'll react to the synthesis as a whole. So there's going to be only one synthesis for all of the answers, and there's only going to be one reaction to the synthesis. Okay, I hope that's clear. So the reaction is in the first person, I, because you're giving your own personal reaction. Okay, so also in the orientation, we mentioned that I would allow two people to interview the same person, but using totally different sets of questions. So fortunately for us, we were able to come up with 6 interviewees. So it's only in one case that there will be 2 people interviewing the same person. Okay. I also suggested that after class, you should start writing your letter of request. But so far, only 2 people have submitted a draft. And these are Camille and Jomel. And I will provide feedback to Jomel's written works probably this afternoon after I finish converting the PowerPoint to PDF, after I finish editing the video of our Zoom interaction and then uploading them to YouTube. So then I will give feedback to any written submissions. Okay, so anything written should be screened by me for grammar as well as, well, just basically correctness of the interview questions, for example, or what else? Or the letter requesting an interview. And I also said that you can consult me after every class. I think some people might have gotten confused by this. The original plan, if you remember, is that immediately after every class, when we finish discussing for the day, then you should ask the questions. That's why I was encouraging you during the orientation to try to attend every Zoom meeting so that you can consult after every class.